the new leadership in Iran under Mujtaba Khamenei, the son of Ali Khamenei. He is his father's son, and he is not. He's something I don't think Iran has had for several centuries. You've got a warrior prophet. Mujtaba was from a special family. I mean, when the Iran-Iraq War or the Iraq-Iran War started, I want to put the country that started it up front. We began in 1980. Mujtaba, I think, was a 17-year-old boy. His father was the supreme leader, or not this, but high up in the hierarchy, an advisor to the Ayatollah Khomeini, because, in fact, Khamenei was designated by Khomeini to be his successor. And, we see how the sons of rich guys do. Hunter Biden, did he serve in the global war on terror? Only enough to go get a cocaine high and get kicked out. Eric Trump, Donald Trump Jr., no. Hey, Barron Trump signing up now? No. So, these favored sons, as Creedence Clearwater Revival sang about them, fortunate sons, they don't fight. Mujtaba Khamenei did. He started as a 17-year-old. He saw combat. He saw colleagues and friends die. He was shot at. I don't know if he was wounded, but he served honorably. And, so he's a man that knows what it is to be actual in a war and to face death. He adds to that his religious faith. So Trump, Trump and the idiot Americans that keep disparaging him think that he's somebody to take lightly, that he's in this position just because he's his daddy's boy. No, he's his own man. He proved his manhood. This guy walks around with a set of balls on him that Donald Trump would be envious of. Iran is now strategically positioned to, well, it's a crude term, but I think the poetry of it captures it. Iran's got the United States and the world by the balls. And anybody that's been in that position knows that you don't have a lot of movement and you don't have a lot of choice. You sort of have to go along with what's being offered. Iran, I think their first demand is the sanctions, economic sanctions must be lifted. Iran's calculus is this. If Iran does nothing, the economic sanctions will continue to impoverish Iran and the Iranian people. Now Iran has put the rest of the world in the same position that Iran was, looking at higher prices, raging inflation, and reduced supplies. And as such, those countries that are friendly with Iran are finding, as Ringo Starr sang, I get by with a little help from my friends. So Iran's got every incentive to pursue withholding the flow of oil, liquid natural gas, and urea from the Persian Gulf. Understand that 1/3 of the world's fertilizer basically is dependent upon what comes out of the Persian Gulf. Actually, more than 1/3. And right now we're in planting season in the Northern Hemisphere. The vast majority of arable farmland in the world is above the equator, and so it's now the planting season. And without fertilizer, some crops in certain areas won't grow. So when the planting season's over and the crops aren't growing, and then harvest comes, you're looking at food insecurity, food shortage, 6 months, 7 months down the road right now. So that's going to be, there will be food shortage in 6 months. That U.S. forces would be based in, say, Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia, in Bahrain, the headquarters of the Fifth Fleet, the U.S. Navy. in Kuwait, at 4 different bases and airfields. The same in Qatar at Al Udeid Air Force Base, location of the Combined Air Operations Center, and lesser extent, but some in the United Arab Emirates. So between all of those sites, probably about 13 bases, and that the United States' confidence was that their air defense systems would be capable of fending off any attacks by Iran, and in turn would be using those locations able to launch attacks into Iran that Iran would not be able to fend off. Well, it's true that the attacks inside Iran came off largely without a hitch. The Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed, along with the Minister of Defense, head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Command, others. But within the hour of being struck, Iran immediately began firing back. And this strategy was sort of twofold. One, take out these radars, these massive, highly expensive radars that were used to both detect launches of missiles, determine locations of threats, monitor air traffic in the entire region out for 5,000 kilometers, and then also to identify locations of maritime threats and to be in communication with key U.S. naval assets. Within 3 days, Iran had knocked out all of those radars and also had begun methodically destroying key buildings on each of these U.S. military bases around Saudi Arabia and Qatar at Al Udeid and in Bahrain. I think the most damage has been done to the naval facility at Bahrain. It's really not usable anymore, and if to use it, you got to get a Navy ship in through the Strait of Hormuz. They're going to be a sitting duck. So that facility, for all practical purposes, is dead. It looks like the Prince Sultan Air Base has been decimated. That there are satellite images emerging showing the destruction of at least 5 KC-135s. These are fuel tankers. So those destroyed on the ground, plus the one that was destroyed in Iraq yesterday. That's at least 7 that have gone away. And those 7 were designed, they could fuel 5 planes apiece during a mission. So, that's a pretty big hit on the U.S. capabilities. So the U.S. is being forced to withdraw its personnel from these bases. It's being forced to curtail its military activities from these bases. And then with the knocking out of the radars, they've denied Israel any kind of advanced warning beyond a minute or two of an inbound missile attack. So in terms of the U.S. objective to decapitate the leadership, that has failed. The U.S. objective to weaken support for the Islamic Republic, that has failed dramatically, just the opposite. Support for the government, for the Islamic Republic has gone up in a way that's really unprecedented. They haven't seen anything like this since Iraq attacked Iran in September of 1980 at the start of the Iraq-Iran war. So, and the military is unable to protect Israel from the missile strikes. They're continuing to come in and hit, and Israel is demonstrated. It's this multi-layered system. First layer is Iron Dome. Really they go after subsonic threats. Next layer is David's Sling for some ballistic missiles. Third layer is the Patriot missile, which is supposed to hit ballistic missiles but can't. And then the last one is the THAAD, Terminal High Altitude Area Defense Weapon. Those have been destroyed.